What's up, YouTube? It's Fat Dad Skates Bad, your favorite local old man skater. I'm sick. I got the COVID. I think I lost sense of taste and smell, whatever. But anyways, it's been a long week. My truck broke down. I threw my back out. But luckily, I threw my back out right before I got sick. So it's perfect timing. So I'm pretty stoked about that. And I'm going to turn this negative into a positive. And I've been wanting to do this review for a long time. And I know it's been beaten to death, but I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to review all three wheels that I've skated in the past year or so, maybe even more. I've skated all of them for a bunch of months, and I'm going to go over what wheels they are and which one is my favorite and why. So first things first, the wheels I started on were the 93 Dragon formulas and a 56 millimeter and just like a regular, I guess you'd call this like a conical shape. Nothing too crazy. From there, I kept skating the 93 Dragons. So I went up to, I believe this is a 60 millimeter rat bones, but look at the huge difference. It is massive. And then I'm going to get into, I actually had another set of x97s in a 56. I don't have those anymore, but I've been skating these very recently. So this is on my scram board. This is kind of like a bowl setup. It's a bigger, wider board. And these are 60 millimeter nano cubics, and x97 formula. And then the latest I've been skating for the past probably 2 months are the Spitfire 93s. I think they're called the soft sliders. These are 58 millimeter wheels. I am a transition skater. So those of you that are new to this channel, I've been skating for about 3.5 years. I'm an older guy, and I usually just skate transition, couple banks, and that's about it. So I'm not a big flip tricker. I do ollies, stuff like that. But this is just my experience on them and what I felt on these wheels. I'm the type of guy that really likes power slides. So I can definitely attest to which wheels power slide the best and overall feel. So I'm going to start off with, I guess, Dragons. Everybody has probably watched a review about them. I fell in love with these wheels. So I was coming off of Spitfires that were, I think, 99A, and they would rattle my teeth out. And maybe for you youngins, that might not be like that big of a deal, but I could not stand just like the of like just regular like 99 Formula 4s of like Spitfires. In skate parks, they felt great, and that's what I guess they were made for. But anywhere I'd go skating, like just at the park or like do flat ground sessions at like a parking lot or something, I was hating life. And they were very slick too, which I guess is good for power slides, but they almost felt like you were skating on ice. So when these Dragon formulas finally came about, I was really stoked to have a wheel that was soft, but still, handled all the terrain pretty well. And they did power slide well, but the only issue is they really power slided on rough ground the best, which is so freaking weird and doesn't make any sense. And when you go to like a really smooth skate park like we had around here, I would always stick on these 93 formulas. And then the longer I skated them, the stickier they got, which was something that kind of bummed me out. But the one overwhelming thing I can say about these wheels is like, you held speed relatively well. I always skate a little bit better bearings, so I'm sure that helps. But you hold speed well, and they lasted for a long time. I didn't blow through these wheels quick. I skated each of these for a minimum of, I would say, probably about 6 months. And they definitely lasted for me. Albeit, I mostly skate parks, and the one parking lot and street spot that I usually skate has pretty decent concrete, but I do skate a couple of places that have really like chopped up concrete. I've never had any issues with flat spots, and I love doing power slides. Moving on from there, I'm going to go to the x97s. Those are the wheels that I skated before the soft sliders, and these are in that weird nano cubic shape by Andy Anderson. But I actually had them in another, I think it's more of like, I don't know what to call it exactly. I guess it's more of a like a conical full shape. Just kind of your standard skateboard shape. Very similar to this. And they feel the hardest out of all of these. So I've heard people say that the soft sliders, the 93As from Spitfire, feel harder than the x97s. I gotta disagree. I think the x97s by far feel the hardest, and they definitely feel closest, I would say, to like an actual like skate park wheel in my opinion. But they still handle parks, and they still handle like rough ground relatively well. But then I feel like they're most chatterboxy. Most by what I mean by that is they're the most roughest out of all three of the wheels. But their power slide is amazing. So on rough ground, on flat ground, they just grip so freaking nice. And then if you just let loose a little bit, they just slide so well. So by far, I would say they're the fastest wheels, I believe, of all three of these wheels, by far. They slide the best, they skate the best. The only downside of them is like my legs and my feet would be mostly sore. They feel much more like a harder wheel, which I was kind of bummed out about. But as far as like, I guess, feel and keeping speed and power sliding and grip too, they're such a great formula. And I'm gonna probably say that they're the best wheel out of all of them. But there's a happy medium. And what I'm gonna say about these are the Spitfires and the 93A. They're on my backwoods setup, which I'll probably do a video on eventually. And I gotta say, these 93A Spitfires are like the middle ground between the Dragons and the x97s, in my opinion. They're harder than the Dragons. They slide well. I don't think they slide as well as the x97s. I don't. I think that they're quieter of a slide, which I kind of like the barky sound of like the 97s. So they're definitely harder than the Dragons. I think they hold speed better than the Dragons. And they definitely have way more absorption than the x97. So if you're like me and you get sore after skating a lot, and I'm a heavy guy, I'm 240 pounds, I gotta say, I think the 93A Spitfires are definitely like perfect middle of the ground wheels for everything. And I feel like they're soft enough to skate indoor wooden parks, which is something that with the x97s, I would be a little bit nervous about. The park here, not too far away, it's in New London, Connecticut. It's an indoor park, but it just gets really dusty. I think most indoor parks actually do get really dusty. And when I was on Spitfires, I couldn't skate it. I was just not good enough of a skater. I was just sliding around. But on the Dragons, I was fine. But I think on the x97s, it would kind of be borderline too slippery in there. Whereas on the 93s Dragons and the 93 Spitfires, I think I'd be okay. So anyways, that's the video. As far as what I like to skate, I definitely like softer wheels. I feel like they're a lot easier on your joints. I feel like they're easier to skate and handle. And I think all these wheels, you can't go wrong. You really can't. But if you're looking for the best wheel to do everything, it's the x97s. But if you like the softer feel, I think the Dragons are the best. And if you're looking for kind of a middle ground between the two, I think the Spitfire 93s are also a good wheel. I think I'm gonna eventually move back to the 97A x97 formula. To me, they're just the best of all worlds. Maybe for the winter, I'll slap on some 93s because they skate a lot of crusty parking lots in the winter time. And also, I definitely make my way down to the indoor skate park way more often. So winter's right around the corner, and yeah. So anyways, I just thought that'd be a simple video, simplifying my experience on each of these wheels. I skated them for months. I definitely got a real feel for them. I'm definitely big into power slides. I don't grind a lot of rails, so I can't really tell you as far as grinding goes, but I've never had problems grinding coping with any of these wheels. I think definitely the stickiest wheel is the Dragons, but the 93 sliders are definitely sticky too. They're stickier than the x97s in my opinion. I think best all-around wheel I'm going to give to the x97s. They're definitely awesome freaking formula, and they're the formula I like to skate the best. But honestly, I think each wheel shines in its own category. I think the best all-around wheel would probably be the 93 sliders by Spitfire, just because it's kind of like the best of all worlds. And if you're looking for one do-it-all wheel, I think that'd probably be it. My favorite wheel, though, x97s. I got to hand it up to them. So I hope this video was helpful. I know there's been 1,000 of these, but I just wanted to throw in my 2 cents after skating all these wheels. Thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. And if this helped you out in any way, please shoot me a like or a sub. And I'll catch you guys next time.